Hello, my name is Greg Harradine. I'm a composer, and welcome to another episode of Good Art, Bad Art. In the next 8 minutes, I will share my thoughts on the 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky. Those of you who've watched my Good Art, Bad Art series before will know that these are unedited, no editing, 8 minutes of my thoughts off the top of my head about different pieces of music, and I'd love to hear from you. So please let me know in the comments, what do you think of the 1812 Overture? Are you one of these people who loves it, who loves hearing it at events? It's become part of the culture really, especially in the US and Europe. Do you love this piece? Do you enjoy its energy? Or, like me, do you find it a rather facile, rather childish, rather annoying and overly bombastic work that Tchaikovsky himself didn't like? So if he didn't like it, why should we like it? Anyway, we'll get into it. First, a little bit of background. So this, by the way, was suggested by Vilislava over on Facebook. Thank you, Vilislava. I like to get suggestions, for what I should discuss on this channel. So let me know what I should cover next. She said, I want to know why the 1812 Overture is so popular. I am not too enthusiastic about it. Well, very well put, Vilislava. I'm not too enthusiastic about it. I agree. Well, this was a piece written in 1880 by Tchaikovsky, of course, and it commemorates Russia's successful defense of the French invasion led by Napoleon back in 1812. So there's quite a gap in time, 1812 to 1880. Well, why suddenly was this piece written to commemorate that successful defense? Well, it partially because all these memories were stirred up from in 1869. War and Peace was published by Tolstoy, and this, of course, famously describes the 1812 invasion very accurately, and it kind of brought these memories back to the Russian consciousness. So there were lots of new monuments commissioned, paintings, and indeed compositions in the next decade or two. So that's sort of how it came about. Lasts for 15 minutes, this piece, scored for a large orchestra with a big percussion section, but brass band, and of course the artillery, the cannon, which people love. And yes, it just tells the story. It's a very programmatic piece. It tells the story in very exact detail, really, of the Russians versus the French. We hear Russian folk melodies, Russian hymns competing with the French national anthem, La Marseillaise. Who's going to win? Which tunes are going to win? Of course, the Russian tunes win in the end. It ends with God save the Tsar. Of course, God is on the Russian side, no doubt. God's not on the French side; he's on the Russian side, of course. So yes, what did Tchaikovsky think himself? It's always fascinating, isn't it, to hear from the composer of the piece. We would hope, wouldn't we, that composers are inspired and just they can't help write what's in their heart and soul. It pours out of them, and that's why it affects us so deeply when we hear a great work. But no, this was a commission, right? He wrote this piece to order, and Tchaikovsky said to his patron, Nadezhda von Meck, he said that the overture would be very loud and noisy, but without artistic merit, because I wrote it, quote, without warmth and without love. That's Tchaikovsky's own words. He wrote it without warmth and without love, and he says it will be without artistic merit. I agree. Yes, he's putting his cards on the table there. He's saying, look, this is a piece written to order. It's not a true outpouring of my creativity. He didn't consider it a success. What did other people think? Well, I've got a marvelous book here, The Lexicon of Musical Invective by Nicholas Slonimsky, which is a great collection of bad reviews of famous composers, essentially. It's hilarious, and it's a wonderful record of these things that might otherwise be lost. We think everything's online these days, but it isn't. It really isn't. Not every single piece of text that's ever been published is on the internet. Might surprise you to know that. Anyway, listen to this. This is Louis Elson writing for the Boston Daily Advertiser in 1896 about the 1812 Overture. Very tongue-in-cheek, this. I love it. Now followed a sweet little slumber song entitled The 1812 Overture by Tchaikovsky. On a second hearing, or rather a second deafening, the coda was as loud as the explosion of a powder mill. Although not a barcarolle, the roar of the surf was plainly audible in its dynamite explosions. The fight between the Marseillaise and the Russian hymn came to an end in one round, the former being knocked out completely. Altogether, one can best sum up this remarkable musical earthquake by saying that it is sound and fury signifying something. I love that. Louis Elson there. Anyway, so yes, it's just, for me, it's unsuccessful. Yes, it's nationalistic, it's pompous, it's far too on the nose. It kind of sounds like musical propaganda to my ears. It's a showpiece, designed to tug at Russian heartstrings. It's music written to order. Yeah, it's not a work of art springing from the heart and soul of a composer. There are good bits. Yeah, the opening, I quite like the understated opening. It's quite well written. If you like it, please comment and let me know why. Yeah, let me know why. These are just opinions, right? Maybe I'm right, maybe you're wrong. Yeah, who knows? But yeah, if you like it, let me know why. This piece has been parodied so many times because it's so rich for parody, isn't it? And it's been used in films and adverts. It's been used on The Simpsons. It's been used to advertise cereal. Yeah, I suppose some people love it because it does tell a very clear story. It's very exciting, isn't it? Maybe if you're lucky enough to see it with canon, wow, classical music plus war, plus guns and cannon. Boom, enjoy it. It's a spectacle. It's a massive spectacle. But that's not what music should be about for me. It's not spectacle. It should be about artistic, the aesthetic, right? We're being moved aesthetically by something beautiful, by some powerful artistic experience. Not a commission written to order, celebrating a wartime victory. So, Vilislava, thank you for the suggestion, and I agree with you. I am not too enthusiastic about this piece either. Now, I give everything a score on this channel, so let me get my score. A score of 41. I give Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture 41 out of 100. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Let me know what I should cover on my next episode. And have a good day. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.